Good morning, everybody. We're going to start our service right now. Welcome to church. We're so grateful that you're here on a beautiful Sunday. Those of you online, of course, as well. We're going to start right now by singing our opening chant, One with the One.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, let's try that again. Good morning. I am Dr. Steen. I am the senior minister and community spiritual leader for this place. We are part of the Centers for Spiritual Living, and we are very glad you're here. So we are a welcoming, inclusive, embracing community. We have been celebrating oneness for over 70 years, and we are glad that you are choosing to spend time with us today. Whether you're here or you're online, we recognize that there is something radically right about each of you, and we honor that, we celebrate it. So I want to read a little quote to you from Neville Goddard. "The world is a mirror reflecting our beliefs, our fears, and our divine essence. By altering our perceptions and assumptions, we not only transform our individual lives, but we contribute to the collective evolution of humanity." That's a pretty good spiritual assignment, isn't it? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about that. And we are, again, so glad you're here. Now, we are a social media friendly space. While we do, please invite you to silence your cell phones. We also invite you to check in, take pictures, go to Facebook, go wherever your social media love is, and post and tell people that you're here. Hashtag NHCRS Spiritual Community. Have a great service.
Good morning. My name is Christine Crawford, and we're grateful that you have joined us in person and online. If you're one of our live streamers, feel free to enter your location into the chat. We would love to know where you are. And for those who are here in person, please take a moment, another reminder to silence your cell phones. Thank you so much. Let us move into prayer right now. In this holy instant, as we move into that place that lives within us, that place of sacred stillness, that is right here where we are and at the center of all of creation. And in this still sacred place, I remember who I am. I remember who we are. The infinite, unlimited magnificence of God. Extensions of God as love in this world. How good it is to remember and recognize our true essence. How good it is to know that in this moment only God exists and nothing else is real. And as I stand in this transcendent place, I claim this word that I speak for each of us, that is the one of us, is anchored in the divine mystery of God's eternal grace. I know we are living and moving and having our being in this mighty presence, which never has an absence. We are living as divine health, as divine opulence, as joy, as beauty, as divine peace. The peace that passes all human understanding and all misunderstanding. I know that this word that I speak carries the vibration of already done, and I am so grateful. And so I know that our coming together this morning is a magnificent blessing to all. I know that this service unfolds with divine ease and grace through our musicians, our soloists, our volunteers, our practitioners, and through each heart present here this morning. And through our beloved Dr. Sidney, who has said a loud, resounding yes to being that clear and open channel through which Spirit speaks. I stand here in deepest gratitude in knowing and accepting that all is already done right here, right now. And I simply release this word, onto the altar, into the law from which it came. And together we say, and so it is, Amen. I am one with Please rise and join me in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Please remain standing for our congregational song, Young at Heart. 3, 4.
Wonderful.
All right.
Don't sit down yet. This is an opportunity for us all to take a moment to greet each other, to say hi. You can even move around in the sanctuary, move around, greet each other.
You can
That would be
hug, you can
wonderful.
shake hands, you can wave. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we're all back in our seats, and it's time for us to meditate together for the next 5 minutes. So I just invite you to close your eyes and silently repeat the mantra, God's the love that I am. If your mind happens to wander, just bring it back to silently repeating, God's the love that I am. And I will bring us out of our meditation in 5 minutes.
Go to school, find some work, drive a truck, dig some dirt, fall in love, settle down. It's so simple, it's profound. Raise a kid, maybe two. Take some pride in what you do. Keep looking up when things are down. It's so simple, it's profound. Sometimes the obvious is hard to see. We make a mountain of simplicity. And though life feels like it's a mystery, here's what I have found. It's so simple, it's profound. Sometimes the obvious is so hard to see. We make a mountain of simplicity. And though life feels like it's a mystery to me, here's what I have found. Be satisfied with what you got, who you are, and what you're not. It's a real good day if you're above the ground. It's so simple, it's profound. It's so simple, it's profound.
Whoa, I love that. So simple, it's profound. You know, we really like to be intellectual and complicate things as much as possible. And I have a degree in that, I think, probably several. But I really appreciate that what you were singing about, because here's the thing: when we can move into a space of appreciating what we have, of recognizing what we have. You know, I've heard it said that the key to happiness is not having what you want, but wanting what you have. So if we can start from that place of gratitude, do you know that it is that heart-opening place, it is that soul-opening place that allows for our minds and our beliefs to become absolutely attuned to the vibration of God. And that's what I want to talk about today. So last week, Joanne O'Brien, and I'm so glad that she was able to speak while I was at a conference at Unity Village in the Midwest. She talked about transforming fear, or seeing through fear to the love. And when we are able to see through fear to the love and move to the love, and to choose to recognize love and choose to be grateful for that love and to travel in that vibration, in that frequency, then we become absolutely transformed beings, because we actually become who we truly are. And we become that place in that space for the activity of God, the activity of spirit, the activity of light, call it Buddha, call it intelligence, whatever it is that works best for you. We become that channel for the wisdom to guide us, to be present within us, to be fully present. So for the rest of this month, our theme is rest, renew, and remind. Rest, renew, and remind. And so today I want to talk about rest, the idea of resting in God. So my theme for this is that when we take the time to mindfully rest in God's wisdom and peace and to truly listen to Spirit's voice, we discover these and we uncover these reserves of genius, of brilliance, and we also come away with a renewed sense of purpose. So here's the thing. Sacred rest is not sleep. It's not napping. I recommend naps, by the way. I like naps. And it's not happening, it's not running away from what's going on either within you or outside of you. It's really slowing down to the sacred vibration of your own soul. Now, it's interesting that the word rest appears 275 times in the King James Version of the Bible. 275 times. The one I like the most is from Isaiah, and it reads, "In returning and rest you shall be saved, in quietness and in trust shall be your strength." Oh my gosh, that's what we do here. We do our spiritual practice so that we might rediscover that quietness, that strength, that trust, right? So the founder of this church, Ernest Holmes, wrote this: "Communing with Spirit, you receive inspiration, you acquire confidence and faith, you rest in peace, you are poised. And from this spiritual consciousness, your word becomes the law unto that thing whereunto it's spoken." In other words, it directs you because you are now speaking your word from a place of wisdom and peace, not anxiety, of fear, of doubt, of being completely distracted by anything else in the world. So it becomes the law unto that thing whereunto it is spoken. It is acted upon by the law of life. Your authority is not one of egotism or arrogance. It is the authority which comes when one's consciousness is in tune with the infinite. So there is a vibrational resonance. I'm very clear about this, that connects us with and as the divine energy of Spirit. We are connected with that energy of divine inspiration, of guidance, of peace, of love, of a greater expression that we are immersed in, that we are saturated in. I call it God. I call it God, I call it Spirit, I call it life, light, whatever it is that works for you. That's the space in which we live and move and have our being. And it lives and moves and has its being within each of us. So when we are listening in that sacred rest, what we are listening for is what we call the still small voice. Now, there are times when I really wish that instead of a still small voice, I would be receiving a loud, active yell. Because come on, God, give me the guidance. Make it a burning bush. Make it really, really obvious. And it doesn't happen that way. Well, actually, it does happen that way. But that's when I have gone so long without listening that that spiritual 2x4 hits me upside the head and says, you happy now? You happy now? Anyone have that experience where we spend so much time going, tell me what to do, tell me what to do, tell me what to do. And it's as if there was an anthropomorphic version of God, God's going, oh, I'm trying to tell you, would you just slow down and listen for God's sake, for my sake. If you've ever studied the work of David R. Hawkins, who wrote the book Power versus Force, you'll remember that you and I function as broadcast centers for the energetic frequencies of what we would call spirit or God. So the higher the frequency, the greater the experience you and I have of creation, of connection, and expression. So when and those frequencies are created by the feeling tone, our emotions, our feelings that we are expressing and that we are participating in. So when we have a feeling tone of joy, of love, of possibility, of hope, of excitement, anticipation, we are vibrating at this high level of connection and communication, of oneness. On the other hand, the very low vibrations that happen from fear, from hate, from judgment, from the idea that we are separate and that someone over there is taking our good from us, or we better quick attack them so they don't get what we want, that's a very low vibration. That is not one of deep connection, of deep inspiration. And I know for myself that although it can be rather energizing and galvanizing to find an enemy in the world, it is not exactly a high spiritual practice. It is not one that connects me with a deep sense of well-being or knowing who I am as a divine creation of spirit. I've explored it a lot, trust me. Take my word for it. So connection with each other is our highest frequency. Connecting with that voice is what we want to become aware of. We want to live in a frequency so that we are conscious receiving centers for that still small voice. It cannot be heard over cell phones. I've tried. It can't be heard over busyness and lots of activity. It's going to try to get through, but at a certain point, we're more likely to think that, oh, wait, maybe I am getting my guidance from CNN. You're not. Sacred rest will get our attention. It will get our attention when we most need it. And I was thinking this week about where this is so obvious and such a wonderful demonstration of it. Simone Biles. Now, Simone Biles, when she was in the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo, she was in the middle of a routine on the balance beam, and she literally got lost in the routine. And she was experiencing this thing that gymnasts call twisties. Twisties. And that's where you lose your place, your focus is disrupted. And it's very dangerous because you can fall. And she realized that there was something really desperately wrong here. So she stepped away from the competition. She got so much hate, and there was so much negative press about her doing that. And the press has continued, as you might have noticed, over the last several weeks. But she followed the voice. She knew that she had to find out what was wrong, and that meant going into a place of mindfulness and silence and listening for her own still small voice. So she knew that something was off. She just really, really knew. And she knew that if she did any more events, she would jeopardize the medal standing of the other members of the team. And she didn't want to do that. And what she said was, I just felt like it would be a little bit better to take a back seat to work on my mindfulness. So after the fact, her bravery showed the world the importance of prioritizing oneself, even if it means walking away from a dream. So she spent that 2-year period listening. She did the deeper work. She spent that 2-year period in mindfulness, in interrogating what was going on. She did the psychological work. She did the mental work. And she came to a deeper awareness of who she was, of what her purpose was, of what was her role to do? Who is she in God? Who was she as a divine creation of spirit? That would be my language for it. But she became so focused and so clear about being present to her own feelings, to her own instincts, to her own still small voice, that when she came back, and some of you will know that as of a few days ago, and it could have changed because things happen fast in our world, she is the most medal-winning, decorated Olympic athlete of all time because she stopped to listen to her voice. She stopped and went to a place of rest. Embracing her twisties, embracing them and loving them led her to clarity and resilience. She didn't fight. She didn't deny that something wasn't going on. Instead, she looked directly at the issue and loved it. She loved her greater truth and power, and in that, her strength was revealed. It was even magnified exponentially. So, how many times do we think that there's something that is off in us? We have our own version of the twisties, and instead of embracing and stopping what we're doing and becoming silent to find out exactly what's going on, how often Do we instead say, no, I'm fine, it's fine, everything's fine, I'm fine, you're fine, the world is fine, it's okay, where's the chocolate, I'm fine. We tend to not pay attention because that means work. And it's that deeper work that lifts us and shifts us. So Simone Biles did what Meister Eckhart advised the world to do in the 13th century. Become aware of what is in you. Announce it, pronounce it, produce it, and give birth to it. Isn't that incredible? Becoming aware of what is within us, announcing it, pronouncing it, producing it, and giving birth to it. And Meister Eckhart also wrote that the soul does not grow by addition, but by subtraction. So as we release that stuff that is not true about ourselves, all of the doubts or the beliefs that we might have acquired that somebody else gave us, the opinions, perhaps our family of origin, however we grew up, as we release all of that, that's where our growth occurs. It's as if we have untied the cords, untied the string around ourselves and our beliefs, and we have let them go. We let them go, and we just set them aside so that that voice within us, that truth within us, can begin to reveal itself with a sense of hope, with inspiration, with possibility. You know, there are no shortcuts to God. There are just no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts to spiritual awakening or to awareness. And you know, we all want to have stuff happen really fast because that's how we are. I mean, here we live in LA, we're in the entertainment industry, or we're in corporate world, or whatever it is that we're doing, or we've retired from it. But how many of us are still going, I got to do this, I got to accomplish, I have to do. Quickly, come on now, hurry up. I'm going to be stuck in traffic for 2 hours, so I better get a lot done now, whatever that thing is that goes on for us. But Wayne Muller wrote this: in the soil of the quick fix is the seed of a new problem because our quiet wisdom is unavailable. Our quiet wisdom is unavailable. So glimpses of inspiration are wonderful, and they're encouraging little signposts that we'll get along the way. But the true path of discovery, as we seek to reveal and live from our divine nature, it's not a sprint. It is a marathon, but it's a very sacred marathon. Rushing through our spiritual practice doesn't work. In fact, we had a real-life example of this. Right now, Reverend Christine, is teaching a spiritual practices class. Now, it was originally 10 weeks, and we thought, well, people maybe want a shorter class. So we looked at doing it for 8 weeks. And midway through the class, she asked the students, what do you think? Shall we compact it down to 8 weeks? And they all said, no, we want 10 weeks. We want the full measure of this class. We don't want to miss any of it, which has allowed all of them to slow down to the speed of spirit, to the speed of life, to the speed of God, and actually really take time to do something that we don't talk about enough, which is to chemicalize the shift in consciousness. To chemicalize, to take it in. Here's what happens if you've never heard that word, chemicalize or chemicalization. When we are in the midst of releasing an old idea and planting the seed of a new idea, there is a process that takes place. Sometimes it can even be a physical response to the new idea where we react to the releasing. Because something that has been with us and such a part of us for so long will often it becomes familiar, not functional, but familiar. And letting it go can be very challenging. So we go through a process called chemicalization sometimes, in which we are being lifted past the old ideas. And it can hurt to stretch muscles you haven't used in a while. Have you noticed that? It can be a little challenging to do those exercises that you've perhaps never done. And that's what this is about, so that we can extend ourselves into knowing who we truly are as spiritual beings, as divine creations. And if all we've thought of is that we are beings of limitation, beings of fear, beings of problems, then moving into a place of possibility is going to feel radical. It's going to feel strange. It might even feel a little threatening. But moving beyond that status quo of whatever, which often sinks into a place of collective mediocrity, is not where a full life gets lived. I was thinking this morning, and out of the blue in my meditation, the name Evelyn Glennie came to me. I know the band knows who this is. Evelyn Glennie is a percussionist who is absolutely deaf. Now, she was born in 1965. She went totally deaf when she was 8. She is one of the most successful, most in-demand artists for symphony orchestras, recordings, film scores in the world. She listens, not from here, but she'll often be barefoot because she feels the vibrations. She hears her stomach and up will take in the higher drums. Her waist down takes in the lower drums. She is a phenom artist. She is a brilliant, brilliant artist. Now, had she not listened to that voice within that said, you are this, you are this, you are greater than this apparent physical limitation, she would not be the star, and she's a powerful talent. She's fierce, but she would not be that influence and that musician that this world so needs. And she's inspiring to hear. She's incredible. So it is about listening to a voice. It's about slowing down and really, really knowing that if we want to grow spiritually and harvest the gifts of our growth, we need to allow time to rest in the questions. We have to allow ourselves to sit in the places and the spaces of not knowing in order to move into the divine knowing. So resting in God is the gift we give ourselves so that we might calibrate and touch the stillness of love and peace. We rest in God. Go ahead. And so there's a song that we sing sometimes, and it's an easy chant. And it is when we recognize the truth of who we are that we actually become. And you can go ahead and show that next slide, Bo. Where we realize we are blessed always. We are truly blessed always. The arms of God, the power and presence surrounds us. It immerses us. We are saturated with that spirit. And in that, when we are paying such close mindfulness and attention to that, we become triumphant. We become that joy. We become that high vibration that David Hawkins talked about in Power versus Force. We become that resonant frequency of God, that frequency of love, that frequency of demonstration, of creation, of inspiration, of shift, and by the way, of healing. We rest in God and we say, Amen. Now, I want you to know the word Amen actually, going back thousands of years, was a secular term. It meant, okay, we have a deal then, right? Okay, we're agreed. We're in agreement. It's not, gosh, could it be a woman? No, it's amen. It comes from the Hebrew or from Aramaic, and it means, yes, I am in agreement. I am in alignment. So I'm going to invite you to sing this with me and begin to feel that place of being able to rest in God. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen again. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say, one more time. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in Thank you. I invite you this week to rest in God, to say amen. Let's do that now, shall we? So we turn within, resting in God, in that amen awareness, that amen, ashe, amen, namaste, aho, the awareness that life is filling us, surrounding us with itself, and we now choose to become aware together of this power, this presence that we call spirit, that we call love, that we call infinite intelligence, knowing that it is the great truth of who and what we are. We slow down to the speed of God, to the speed of life, to the speed of absolute truth, so that we might recognize in gratitude together that right where we are, the power and presence of the divine, the infinite presence of the divine, is lifting, is shifting, is calling us into a greater knowing of ourselves. We are inspired, we are healed, for we are revealing that wholeness that is already at residence within us. And so I know that we are blessed by this knowing, we are blessed by this experience, we are blessed by this church, and I know that this church is a blessing in the world. We bless this church. We bless all churches, all paths to God, all mosques, all temples, all ashrams, all synagogues, wherever people gather, where the light is amplified, where it is magnified, where it shines. Because truly, that is our role, to shine that light and to lift this idea of evolution into that place of love, that place of truth, that place of absolutely knowing that there is one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is our life right here and right now. So we surround this entire planet with that knowing. And if there is someone that is in our lives or in our mind that is on our heart, we call forth their experience as well and know that they are surrounded and filled with this love and with this divine guidance that we call spirit. So in gratitude, I release this word into law, knowing it is already so. I say, and so it is, and together we say, amen. We'll sing this one time. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. So now is when we invite you to share your tithes, your gifts, your love offerings, and know that as you do this, this is an investment in your spiritual unfoldment. And as you give to us, we also invest in this community around us. We share with this world, we tie to this world, and we are so grateful. So I invite you to say with me our affirmative blessing. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Thank you very much. I am so blessed. So blessed.
mountains out of molehills, from lemons, lemonade. These are things I've made. Friends from enemies, lovers, friends, angry accusations, tearful offense, life-changing decisions, a moment too late. These are things I've made. Don't know what I could do better. I did the best I could. I could cry forever, but it wouldn't do me any good. Guess I'll forgive myself and everybody else. Slow changes, grudges too fast, rewritten pages from my complicated past, bruises on my fingers from digging my own grave. These are things I've made. Don't know what I could do better. I did the best I could. I could cry forever, but it wouldn't do me any good. Guess I'll forgive myself and everybody else. Love, music, money, mistakes, terrible choices, my own breaks, mountains out of molehills, from lemons, lemonade, a home for me in heaven, from prayers that I pray. These are things I've made. These are things I've made. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So before we have our announcements, one of the things as a minister that we have to do every now and then is to share the losses. And this last week, we lost one of our practitioners, one of our beloved practitioners, Diane Satterley, passed away very suddenly. Diane was a light, she was a presence, she was powerful, she was clear, she was controversial, and she was loved. She was with her family. She's been living in the Midwest. She's been living in St. Joe's, Missouri. And she went with her family on Monday night to watch the Chiefs practice because she loved her Kansas City Chiefs. And then apparently passed away sometime after that, sitting in her favorite chair, binge watching Netflix, which is a great way to go. So services are pending. Services are supposed to happen in Missouri and possibly here in Southern California. But in the meantime, Diane was known for wearing hats. She had amazing hats, whether it was for the 4th of July, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, Easter bonnets. So a week from today, next Sunday, we have declared it to be Hats, Hats, and More Hats Day. You are invited to wear your hats in honor of this woman who was so wonderful. And as a practitioner, she did amazing work. So I hope that you will join us as we wear a lot of hats, as Diane did as well. Go ahead.
Thank you to the band, Kevin Fisher, and to our digital ministry team.
Yeah.
Announcements for today, Sunday, the 11th of August. On your bulletin, you will see how to make donations to our church through text to give number, QR code, or through our website, nhcrs.org/give. Thank you so much. And please know that your donation goes to support not just our church, but to other charities and the community. Prayer with a practitioner is available after service in the sanctuary and on Zoom. Every Sunday at 9:45, our junior church is open. If you have babies, kids, or teens, we have a place for all of them. Every Wednesday night, we offer a fabulous midweek service. It starts with meditation at 6:50 p.m. and moves into music, wisdom, and healing prayer at 7 p.m. This week, practitioner Sue Webster's topic is, What's in Your Toolbox? So please join us. Good Gossip Club with practitioner Nikki Swara meets today at 1 p.m. in the junior church, and all are welcome. Grief Support on Zoom with practitioner Carol Winokur meets today at 1 p.m. The Zoom link is on our website. Calling all creative beings. Our creative arts ministry is holding an information session and auditions today from 2 to 5 p.m. in the sanctuary for a staged reading of Steel Magnolias that will be performed on Friday, September 20th. We'd love to have you participate. If you have questions, contact Mark Crowell at mcrowell@aol.com. Also, on Friday, August 16th at 7 p.m., our Creative Arts Ministry is presenting a Sound of Music sing-along in the sanctuary for the whole family. Suggested donation is $10. There will be refreshments on the patio after the show. Our Loving Outreach Ministry feeds the homeless on the third Sunday of each month at 12:45 p.m. and would love to have your support. Sign up today on the patio to volunteer and or make a donation. And thank you so much. Our beautiful Mary Bullard Chapel, located in the Ernest Holmes Room, is now open from 9 to 9:20 a.m. every Sunday for silent meditation. You are all invited into this sacred space to meditate with others and practice the presence of God. Zoom virtual patio before and after Sunday and Wednesday services. Zoom meditation meets every Monday through Saturday from 7:55 a.m. to 8:15 a.m. Visit our website, nhcrs.org, for Zoom links, information, and to sign up for weekly e-blasts and monthly newsletters. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So practitioners, would you come forward? And if you want prayer, please join those practitioners after the service. And if you are online, you can hop over to Zoom and you can be prayed up by people who know who you are. We talked about it. Loving outreach. You were not listening, Sam. Sign up to bring food for our loving outreach. It's next week. We feed the homeless. We've talked about this. Okay. Would you stand? Let's go ahead and sing our peace song. Thank you. I am at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. And I am living love. Have a blessed week.